Welcome, everybody, to the 2012 wheat harvest on the Ponderosa. You're going to come go with me on the combine as I cut one of the finest crops I've ever had in my life. It's only one field of a new variety that I want to tell you about, but I also want to tell you about this old harvest marching up from Oklahoma all the way through Kansas. Stay tuned.
I first got started in the cattle business. My wife and my father-in-law got me into it. I love dealing with the animals and being in the outdoors. At American Ag Credit, I know a lot of them are in the same business that I am. Therefore they understand what I need and what problems I'm against, so they can work with you on it, and it makes it much easier.
It's been passed down to me through the generations, and I want to pass it on down to the next generation or two.
Welcome, everybody, to the Ponderosa, where the old wheat harvest has been going since last Saturday, and we'll wrap up here in a few days if the old rain doesn't catch us. I got to tell you, this has been a beautiful wheat crop, and not just on the Ponderosa. We've talked to people all over the country. Talked to Gary Watts down in Kiowa when he got started earlier last week. His old wheat crop he was pretty happy with, no doubt about that. We're getting quality-wise about average, protein running pretty much average to slightly above. We're getting good test weights in that 60 to 62 pound range almost everywhere. We can't complain about this crop, friends. In fact, we'd take one every year if some way we could get her guaranteed. And I'm cutting I think it's T154 from Kaufman Seed Company. You heard me out at the Kaufman Seed Company plots, their wheat plots just a couple of weeks ago. This is a brand new variety that they had last year that they had on 2/4 of the land, and it averaged about 105 bushels an acre, and I thought they were pulling my tooth. But I got to tell you, we can't average that on this kind of land here, but it's unbelievable. And a lot of 60, 70, 80 bushel marks on the mold monitor, and I don't know what the whole field's going to make. We don't have it made out yet, but it'll be the best that this old kid's ever cut in his life. In the meantime, we've got a couple of other things going on. Wheat harvest marching through the state of Kansas at a pretty fast pace. I feel sorry for the folks that have gotten themselves into a hail situation because we've had some terrible storms around. Nothing worse than to have a crop like this hail to the ground. Folks, that's almost a sin. But in any event, it happens each and every year, each and every week. And my heart goes out to anybody that has that happen to them. We did last year. We just finished harvest before the baseballs hit from the sky, and boy, was I happy about that. Let's talk about a couple of other things here while we're cutting wheat. Speaking of wheat, they're working on a farm program back in Washington. I'm keeping up with them. If you can keep up with them. They are having hearings after hearings, and they still don't know what we want out here. But a couple of interesting things. We do have Farm Bureau testifying at the Senate Ag Committee hearing that they don't think there should be many changes made from what we've already discussed. They are definitely against putting a cap on farmers around the country on any kind of payments, and there's just fresh research out from a research firm that shows no matter how big of a farmer you are, whether it's 500 acres or 15,000 acres, it's about 2.2% that is obtained from government payments. Percentage is the same, and it's only 2%. Boys, nobody has to make a big deal out of that, do they? But they are, and they're going to cut it back. I just hope that, and we can all keep our fingers crossed that they don't wash out federal crop insurance, because that's the only thing that this farm bill will be worthwhile looking at, if we even get that done. We'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy cutting wheat. I'm going to quit thinking about those jokers back in Disneyland East, and I hope you do too. All of you people who are cutting wheat, have yourself a good time, and let's make this one of the best years. And by the way, the old wheat market's had a nice rebound. A lot of you are wondering why. I think it's primarily the money from the east, the speculators in the market, but we've got some good news. Russia's having problems with their crop, and we do have a deterioration of this crop across the state of Kansas. It's not quite as good as it was. The old disease is heavy. Everybody we talk to, disease has been a problem. So I think 40, 50 bushel wheat, 50 seems to be pretty natural at a lot of good farms, and so the old wheat tour will probably be right on it. From the old Ponderosa and the wheat crop, going in the bins. See you next time around.